Quicksand.com, we're going to discuss whether you should try to warn the narcissist's new supply about the narcissist. My name is Angela Atkinson. I'm a certified life coach, an author, and a survivor of narcissistic abuse in relationships. QueenBeing.com offers you resources and help for victims and survivors of narcissistic abuse. There are plenty of free things there that will help you. You do not need to pay anything. You just can log on and take what you need. It's all there for you at QueenBeing.com. Plus, at narcissismsupportcoach.com, there is currently a free 5-day fear busting email course that you can sign up for free. Uh, and again, that's at narcissismsupportcoach.com. And one more, booksangiewrote.com. All of my books are listed there, and that includes books on understanding and dealing with narcissism in relationships as well as narcissistic abuse recovery. And that's booksangiewrote.com. All right. One more thing before we get started. If you're currently struggling with a narcissist gaslighting, manipulation, and other types of toxic mental or emotional abuse, I'd like to invite you to join SPAN, which is support for people affected by narcissism in relationships. It doesn't cost anything, and it's an opportunity to connect with honestly an incredibly supportive group of amazing survivors, people who are currently dealing with and who have already dealt with being in a relationship with a narcissist. And I'm telling you, this is probably one of the most supportive groups you will find online today. It's a private group. It's on Facebook. You can learn more about it if you go to queenbeing.com and click on the free support group tab. Thank you. All right. So today, as I said, let's start with a question. If you saw someone who was about to step in the same puddle of quicksand that almost killed you a moment ago, would you warn them? Yeah. This is a little bit tongue in cheek, but the answer, of course, was yes, unless the quicksand was a metaphor for a relationship with a toxic narcissist. So the question of the day is, should you or should you not warn the new supply about the narcissist? They say that the best way to predict a person's future behavior is to take a look at his or her past behavior. And when it comes to a toxic narcissist, this is almost unconditionally true. So the question is, should you warn the narcissist about the new supply? Well, if you think about how you and your narcissist got together, do you remember how he treated you initially? Do you remember the things he told you about your past relationships? And if you're in the process of leaving or you've already left, you might be dealing with watching him romance a new love. And we talked about this yesterday. If it's probably killing you inside, but maybe not for the same reason that everyone thinks. Let's talk about standard breakups. Okay, in a standard breakup, there's going to be a certain common behavior and certain understandable anger that occur between both parties. In most cases, when a couple breaks up and or divorces, one of the two will move on with a new love. And of course, this can cause a lot of stress and trouble for the one left behind. That's normal. You start to wonder, is she better than me? Is she prettier, smarter, thinner, better in bed, whatever? And part of you, of course, kind of hates her guts and maybe even wishes horrible things would happen to her. And look, you're human, it's okay. It's pretty common. But obviously, most healthy people won't act out on those feelings outside of, maybe a snide remark here and there. In some cases, you might see exes who try to get revenge on each other by trying to contact new partners or trying to sabotage the new relationship. And that's again, unfortunately, standard stuff. But why is it different for a narcissist ex? Well, when it comes to a former narcissistic supply, there's a whole new element involved. Especially if you think about the feelings about the narcissist new victim, or love, the person the narcissist is now targeting. And yes, obviously, any ex might feel the need to get in touch with a new girlfriend, but in the case of a narcissist, it's about the new potential supply, and in this case, it's usually a very different reason than a pissed off normal person in this situation would. And what most people don't realize is that when you've experienced toxic mental and emotional abuse from a narcissist, you do have a different agenda when it comes to getting in touch with the new girl. And unless they've experienced narcissistic abuse, most people won't even believe you if you told them your reason. They'll just say, oh, yeah, right, you're just totally doing that because you want to mess up his relationship. We all know that's not true, but it doesn't matter. Listen, when your ex is a narcissist, you probably do want to tell the new supply about him. Don't do it. Not worth it. Um, if you're currently or formerly involved with a narcissist, you already know what I'm going to tell you next. Narcissists tend to be attracted to empaths because we are hardwired to directly respond to the emotions of others, especially when we love them and or we live with them. In addition to falling among the highly sensitive people type, we also feel for other people. And mostly we've struggled so hard to get out from under what the narcissist did to us that we really don't want to see another person go through the same kind of suffering and upset that we did. Do you see what I'm saying? So our reason for wanting to reach out to the narcissist new supply then is different because it's genuinely an attempt to help another person. But when it comes down to it, should you really try to warn the new supply about what she's getting herself into? Does she even really deserve a warning? Well, maybe she does. But should you say anything to her about it or not? Well, here's the deal. The narcissist has been hoovering her and love bombing her, and you've been there. You can already guess why the new relationship looks so pretty from the outside. Obviously, he's still in the courtship phase, and she is getting the standard love bombing and hoovering package. You've been there, you've done this. Okay, and if you remember correctly, you can likely think of at least one time where the narcissist has said all kinds of horrible things about an ex or two and how awful maybe she was to him. Maybe she was a cheater, she was abusing me, she was this and that. You know how it is, right? But when that happened, think back. Did part of you resolve to never let that happen to him again? Um, did part of you think to yourself, I'm going to be different than her. I'm going to make him believe in love again or whatever it was that you needed to save him from? Well, back then you may have felt the need to even sort of protect him and to build up his confidence, to be his rock, his everything, okay? But the thing that you need to think about is this, okay? That was back then, and that's where you were when you met him, right? So let me ask you something, and I just want to be really honest with yourself right now, okay? If one of those crazy people had come up to you, those quote unquote crazy exes that he had told you about, had come up to you back then and explained exactly how he was and what she had been through, how do you think you might have reacted? Do you think you would have hugged her and thanked her? Or would you just ignore her? Or would you have even told the narcissist about it and sought some kind of validation that maybe she was just full of it? I think we could probably agree that none of us, with the exception of someone who maybe had previously been involved in a romantic entanglement with a narcissist, would have really hugged her and said, you know what, thank you so much. So, how do you deal with the new supply and why? Well, I kind of wrote a little bit about this on the blog a couple days ago, and I did a video about it yesterday. But basically, you cannot tell the new love what to expect because with a narcissist for a simple reason. She's not going to believe you. And because he will just use that to further attach himself to her and in the process to make you look like more of a nut job. And this of course will confirm all the crap he's probably said to her about you anyway. You see what I'm saying? It's a lose-lose situation. So your narcissist is going to use that attempt to help the new supply prove you're crazy. Don't fall for it. Okay? Do not click to tweet. uh, Let me go back. Listen, if you would share this video, I would sincerely appreciate it. Okay, moving on. What do you do if you really like the new supply and you truly just don't want to see her getting hurt? What if she's somebody you know in real life and you just think she's so sweet and or you know that she's been hurt before and you just want to protect her? Listen, you suck it up and you deal with it. You focus on yourself, your life, and making it better, okay? And the reason is because, quite honestly, she, again, will not believe you, and it will just cause you more heartache and pain, okay? Now, of course, if you're really worried, you can just try to be your friend and allow her to reach out if she's got questions or concerns. But remember, she's you from the beginning of your relationship with that person. So, what would you have done if the ex had tried to be your friend? Ask yourself. The only thing you can do right now is to let it go and move forward. That's it. So, what do? You focus on only what you can control. I say this all the time. You only focus on what you can control, not what you want, not what you can't. Yes, what you want, not what you can't. That's a typo. Anyway, if you ask me, you focus on creating the life that you truly want and the life you deserve, on taking back your life. And please do not become a member of your soon to be or current narcissistic ex's newly expanded narcissistic harem. You can learn more about that at queenbeing.com. So let's talk about it. Are you ready to do this? Let's breathe and let's move forward with writing your future story. I promise you won't regret it. Now it's your turn. Have you found yourself wanting to warn a narcissist new supply about how he was before she got hurt like you did? How did you handle it? How did it turn out? It would be great if you would share your thoughts and experiences in the comments. This can really help future victims or current victims who maybe are not sure what to look for or who want to try to help. If you've done it and it's worked for you, tell me how you did it. Tell me what you did. In my experience, it doesn't work. I would be very interested in hearing about one where it did. Other than that, I've got nothing else for today. Don't forget to head over to queenbeing.com to get free information and resources and tools to help with narcissistic abuse recovery. Join SPAN on Facebook, and you can learn about that at queenbeing.com under the SPAN tab, and I'm sorry, under the free online support group tab, and booksangiewrote.com for several of my books on this topic. In the meantime, you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.